All right, we're gonna go over the practice exam. And there's 20 questions. I think there's gonna be 2 bonus questions of unknown topics. I don't know why. I don't think anybody did the bonus question last time, but I like to have it there. As always, you should start off putting your name.
How did you come up with that?
I'll tell you about it afterwards. Let's get to the exam so anybody that doesn't want to hear it can go. So we want to get rid of parentheses here first. The left side looks good. We can't really do anything right now. So I'm just going to rewrite it. And I will distribute that 4 to each of these. And I get 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times -1 is -4. And I still have the -1. And that I can combine that -4 and minus together to get -5. And I got 3x plus 2 still on the left. And at this point I go, okay, I want to get my x's on the same side. I can either move the 4x to the left and by subtracting it. I don't like that because I know I'm going to end up with a negative number, a negative x, and I might forget it. So instead, I'm going to subtract 3x to the right. And since I'm moving everything, the x's to the right, I'm going to move the constants to the left. 4x minus 3x is just x. 3x minus 3x goes away. 2 plus 5 is 7. X equals 7.
Well,
Had you chose to do it the other way, and you subtracted 4x from both sides, you would want to subtract the 2 over to get it on the right. And you get negative x on the left and -7 on the right. And then you got to remember either divide by -1 or multiply by -1. They both do the same thing. They both get x equals 7. So the process on the left, I avoid the chance of fucking up and forgetting the negative sign
so why did the 5 turn into a positive?
to offset the -5. When you add these together, they go to 0. Same thing that goes over here, 3x minus 3x, those add together to make 0.
So I got x equals 7. So yeah, I did it.
I don't know how much more differently you could have done it. One of those ways, you said divide by -1,
I divided by -1.
but still would have done the same thing. All right, so the next one. Is everyone good on that one before I move on? All right. Next one has some shitty fractions. And so like I want to get rid of a common denominator. I see a 5, a 10, and a 3. I can have a common multiplier of 5 times 2 times 3 is 30. If I multiply everything by 30, this is going to clean up some. If I do 30 times 3x over 5 plus 30 times x over 10 equals 30 over 30, 30 over 3. With that step done, 30 and divides by 5 leaves a 6 behind. 30 divided by 10 leaves a 3 behind. And 30 divided by 3 leaves a 10 behind. What I have is 6 times 3x plus 3x equals 10. So this is 18x plus 3x equals 10. 21x equals 10. And divide by the 21 and we get x equals 10 over 21. It's not a pretty number, but it is the correct answer. What's up?
You eliminate the top part.
If you get a common denominator, you can add them all together, but you still have that fraction. It's easiest to get rid of the 30. Just multiply everything through by it.
the. This is gonna be 10, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be 80.
If you had left it and got a denominator of 30 in there, you would have had 18x over 30 plus 3x over 30 equals, let's see, 10 over 30.
See, I was going to find that 30 by.
And you would have had 21x over 30.
By 5.
Oh, you did 30 and the 5?
If I by 30 times x, 30 times 5.
Yeah, that's
That was,
the mistake.
yeah.
So that's an alternate route. Nice of you to join us. Welcome. Where's your glasses, Ariana?
I can see.
You're tired at 4 in the afternoon. You don't party on a fucking Tuesday night.
Do you want to know?
Not right now, later. Well, everybody else was here on time. We could have talked about your shit ahead of time, but you weren't here. That's all I got to say. See your face right now. I'm stressed. All right. I got -5 is less than 2x minus 3 is less than 9. I need to get x by itself. So what I'm going to start off with is adding 3 everywhere. Add a 3 there, I'll add a 3 there, and I'll add a 3 there. And I'll bring the signs down. -5 plus 3 is -2. Then I have less than or equal to. I have 2x. The -3 and +3 go away. And 9 plus 3 equals 12. Then I want to get x by itself. Right now it's multiplied by 2. I'm going to, let's change up colors. It's very different color. I will divide by 2 on everything.
So you got rid of the -3 and you have to leave the x. That's the.
Yeah, well, I'm doing it in steps. I don't want to divide by the 2 until I've got everything moved first.
That's what I'm saying, we need, that's what you're trying to do, the goal is for us to leave the 2x by itself.
Yes, with the first step, yes. This step was to get, this gets 2x by itself. Well, if you'd done it differently, as long as you get the right answer, it's fine. If you divide by 2 first, it gets hard or harder. You're working with fractions. Negative 2.
Just a little bit. The tiny.
Are you fucking with me? You know, look at the zoom setting right now.
Okay, right there. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
You need to fucking move your fucking blind ass up to the front when you don't want to wear your glasses. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You know it's ridiculous. 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so we have x left, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. That's the final answer.
No, I got that, but I did it completely different. I followed the steps on the homework.
What was the steps on the homework?
You separate, you write it about 2x minus 3, and then they sign.
So they broke it up like this?
Yeah, they break it up into. I guess the right result.
Right. It should still get you the same results.
Mhm.
It just takes longer. You still have the same process. You still add the 3 to both sides and divide by 2.
I want to write down the way you do it. And I- So you want us to write the answer like that, -1.
Yeah, this will work. If you do it this way, this does the same thing. Notice there's a lot less steps if you do it the way on the left.
Yeah. One second, like that, sorry.
Yeah. All right, you got a couple minutes. Tell me about your horrid morning.
So
I'm already bored. Hurry up.
I had to wake up hella early to take out the horses.
How early is hella early? That is hella early, okay. I'll call that.
Anyways, so I had to take out the horses, put them in the install, and then from there, put them in the arena, then in the pen. Then after that, I had to breathe in, or like I had to help them breathe in, and then after that, I had to. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. You really gotta work on your storytelling skills.
What?
So I had to take him out, I had to take him to the stable, I had to take him to the pen.
Yeah.
I had to take the arena, then I had to breed them. Really? Is that what we're doing? Is that how we play in your household? Okay, good to know.
Yeah, and then after that, I had to wash them, sanitize them. I was like basically on a sanitizer.
Wow, so you're like the horse fluffer.
I'm so tired of.
Holy shit, you gotta walk.
My major is animal science.
Yeah, but you gotta, when you say you breed them, define breed them.
Then we had to,
Just, are you putting the mare and the stallion in the same area, or like, what else do you do? Put a little perfume around her neck, you know?
easy and it's way difficult.
So how do you, okay, so how do you tease them?
Well,
She is a fluffer. She is a horse fluffer. Holy shit. You gotta excite the stallion is what I'm hearing.
no, she has to like this stallion.
Oh, you gotta get her to do it, okay? How do you get her to do it?
She just backs up, he sniffs and then he does a little like,
So how do you get her to do that?
you just back her up.
So he's standing there, he's just minding his own business, and you're like, get it right up in his face, girl.
So it's called a phantom and it's supposed to be a wall between them because they can get hurt between the process of it. So we have to put the mares first and then the stallion and he comes all buck wild, all horny and shit. And then from there, he has to drop. And then from there, our herdsman has to collect. Then from there, we have to. see-
Wait, hold on, you're glossing over what that means.
But
What do you mean collect?
collect semen.
So he doesn't just like do it, he has,
No.
someone has to collect it and inseminate.
Yeah.
Why can't, do they just get it on normally? Cause that's how horses have done it
Yeah.
long before we got involved. So effectively, someone has to sit there and watch the horse get off, collect it. You did have a rough day. Okay, I'm done giving you shit, but I do want more story on this later, because this is good.
It's work experience.
Is that what we're calling it? Work experience?
It really is though. You're just helping the herdsmen, whatever they need.
Yeah, but horses have been breeding long before we got involved. Why is there someone there to collect the semen and then?
I don't know, it's more
Science.
money. It's based on money. It's based on how much we had. How much?
So does one mare get all the semen, or is it like we get her, it
It's
get,
literally one drop and all the other, or that semen that we collected can go to different mares.
so one drop comes out and you divide it up amongst different mares?
Because one drop equals 75,000,
Whoa.
no, 75.5 million.
Semen,
Yeah, basically.
yeah, so you're like one drop, like a drop of. I'm
So-
fucking fascinated as all hell right now.
The.
I'm sure it's
How big is the drop?
Huh? It's literally like an eye drop.
Holy shit, how do you catch that?
mean?
In a tube?
No,
Is he got a
so-
sleeve on? What?
But it's actually an
Oh, my goodness.
iPod or like an iPad and we can see them swim, see how much there is, it counts how much.
No, I believe you, but how do you catch it? The semen, how do you collect it?
Yeah, he collected it.
I'm using the wrong word. Collect is the word she used. How do you collect the semen? Is there like a plastic baggie over the end or what's going?
No,
So how?
It's
It drops on the wood.
It doesn't like shoot,
no,
just dribbles out?
no, it's an AI vagina. And we make our own vagina. It's pretty-
Better. They got a robo horse for that. So they get a real mare there that's, so he thinks it's the real thing,
Yeah,
but he's going to town on some prosthetic.
yeah, but then that's how we collect,
Hey,
that's how much we make.
So this fake horse vagina.
Yeah.
What does it look like now?
I don't even want to know. It's,
No, it doesn't even look like a vagina, it literally looks like.
no, I got it. I don't want to insert the picture in my own head. I want to hear this one. What does it look like? Describe it for us.
So. So it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's old school, it's old.
It's just a hole in the wall? What is it?
No, it's like, I don't know how to explain it, it's like a bottle that we have and we connect it to the case that we have, and it's long, well, his thing is long too, so
Right.
that's why it needs to fit and make sure that we catch all the semen.
So he's putting it into something.
But when you say catch all the semen, it's only one drop. How's it hard to catch all the semen?
So the horse like looking the nut, right? And then they take out the little drops out of his nut, like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they get drops out of his.
Okay, so there's a lot more than one drop that comes out. That's this is what she said. She said one drop, well, Jesus Christ, is a big ass horse in one drop? How does this species survive? This is some wild stuff.
anyways, yeah, I had a long morning.
So like, how much of the jar now? I gotta fucking Google this shit. You just fucking wasted my evening. How much of a jar does it fill?
So
Like if you fill this cup with it,
it depends on the stallion, it can go up to,
you know. She gonna draw my fucking cup.
like right there.
That's a lot of drops.
That's a.
That's a lot of drops.
Yeah.
That's a big load right there. Holy shit. You learn something every day, folks. And I love that you were all with the fucking math on how much semen per drop. Which means you have just inspired the next fucking math problems in this class is gonna be if there's how many semen per drop, and there is a fucking 6 ounces of liquid horse semen, how many drops of semen are there? How many,
But I'm saying that.
and it's appropriate to what I'm teaching, because it's an agricultural.
Exactly, but that one drop is literally 7.5 million sperm. In one drop,
I couldn't think of the word sperm earlier either.
sperm, yeah, I know,
That's-
that's the.
That's what I'm very.
crazy.
So the question is, how many drops are per ounce?
We only do one drop to see if they're swimming, if they're, if they have two tails, like two bodies, like, it all depends.
And you're putting it on an iPad?
Yes, well,
I assume you mean when you're portraying it on an iPad, but it's going through like a microscope. You're not just putting a drop on that fucking iPad.
well, the iPad has a thing where, it's meant for it.
So it's
called
a,
an
It's a sperm counter adapter for. iPad has got more going on than fucking Surface Pro, I know that. I didn't know you could fucking count sperm with it. Did you? I didn't know. This is some fucking. No, I was just embalming him.
I just thought it was a nice,
This is fucking fantastic.
but yeah, that was my morning.
All right,
Then we have 3 baby horses. And they're up.
all right, back to the work. That was worth the distraction. That was a well done distraction. I don't know why I didn't ask you about your morning earlier. And I know I was gonna get shit like this. How do you do this?
I'm bored.
So is there like a big, like, the horse weighs a lot? And I assume he tries to mount. What is he putting his feet on? Is there a giant like robot or a metal
The
thing?
Phantom. Remember when I?
Oh yeah, but I don't know what a phantom is. That's just a name. You didn't tell me what it is.
I'm sorry, I'm touching.
To me, a phantom is a ghost. So you can't rest your weight on a ghost. So is there a giant like fake structure like a Trojan horse? Down on these.
It's not
Well, I'm
inappropriate.
scanning. I but either way, I gotta scan it.
Oh, just give me.
I don't have another paper. I didn't bring another paper. You'll have to show me.
You can draw it in there.
Yeah, it's whoa, yeah.
Okay, so you can all see it. I'm rolling to it.
Did you get a lighter marker here?
These are the only markers you got.
Shit, I got markers right here. Try that other one. That'll work. Does this look like the thing that you go bronco riding in like the fucking restaurants? But with a glass bottle in it?
So. The,
The horse has gotta be on something, Meyer.
so, we have to put the mare. Right here. Stallion right here. He sniffs the mare, it's called teasing. Then from there, she pees, she does whatever, he gets all aroused, whatever.
I
So
missed the
then,
peeing part. This is new.
yeah, that's part of the teasing.
I didn't
She
realize.
pees, and then after that, he sniffs, he
You
lives.
said I don't know shit about breeding horses. I'm really glad I asked to expand upon breeding.
So the mare. For
She's
teasing,
gotta
it's
urinate.
called teasing, she has to urinate, then from there, he sniffs her. The JJ, then from there, he licks, then from there, he does like this little like teeth thing where it's like, okay, I'm ready. So then, since he's ready, he mounts on this thing, which is a fake horse.
Yeah, so it is like the Bronco thing you ride at a restaurant.
But truly, it's called the Phantom.
Right, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
it's still like a fake horse.
Yeah, so then the horse goes on it, and then from there, a herdsman comes.
And so there's a glass bottle there,
So that, okay.
or
this
the
is
guy
good.
just comes and holds the glass bottle there, is that,
No.
please tell me that's not it, because
Let me
that's,
see, let me see.
I don't know that I could ever get paid enough to do that job.
So, no, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but I'm still not, Don't put a horse, get off.
Look, this is what it looks like,
Why not have it done naturally?
and I don't know, it's their system, and then.
well, that way they can inseminate a shit
So
like
when
that
I,
once.
so when I say old school, I meant we use a baby bottle to collect it. So the thing is going in, his thing is going in, and then soon as he ejaculates, the semen, we have a filter like for the semen. So then whatever he has or whatever, it's just we're collecting the semen, that's it.
Right,
And then from there, the.
are you collecting it afterwards, or is someone standing there waiting for him to finish?
He already finished soon as he busted. it.
Okay, so no one has to stand there and wait.
It just depends, cause horses,
Get paid.
or like stallions can be very like, okay, well, we have like a condom. Horses like condoms, horses don't, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta watch it.
It's wrong. So this stallion
Yeah.
likes
Giving
the
us-
condom, so the condom is there. And that's where, that's where it, he does his thing and then we just collect it. So the iPod thing. It literally looks like a big ass iPod, right? Or like a iPad. And where the camera is, we put like this microscope thing that we have, and that's where that drop that came from here. That tiny little drop is literally 7.5 million,
So it looks like an iPad or it actually is an iPad?
and it's actually is an iPad. Yeah, and then we just start from there and, yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna continue on this. I wanna circle back around to the teasing later on, because I heard some things in there, I had more questions. But I really wanna get this done.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm gonna, if you have an instructor, I will tell them what a good presentation you gave today.
Thanks.
Extra credit.
Why are you sounding all bitter? I said thank you. I really like this presentation. Okay. Thank you, I will. The test is on Monday. Apparently you didn't get the memo, or did you come in? Okay. Welcome back, Mason. It's good to see you again. Bob, my bad, Bob. So for simple interest formula, P equals IRT. And we are looking for the interest. Is this find the interest? So that's our question mark. Which means I should be able to find P, R, and T in this problem. P is the principal amount. It's the amount we start with. It's the 4,500.
Wait, you said you had more questions?
Yes. But I want to get to some more problems before I delve back into that.
I mean, I got a lot of them.
You missed out really. All right, so the rate is the 9.3%, but we don't want it as a percent. We want to write it as a decimal. So we're going to shift the decimal point left twice. T is time in years, which is 3. Now, we know we're solving for I. There's a couple ways to do this. I think this is the easier way to do it. Before you start plugging shit in, solve for I here. I want I by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by the RT. If I do that, I get I equals P divided by RT. And I can start putting in the values that we have, 4,500 on top. I have 0.093 on bottom, there's a 0 there. And it's multiplied by 3.
0.093.
Yeah. The value right here.
Oh.
Now, we're supposed to do the things that are together first. So we can do the 0.093 times the 3 first. And I'm getting on the bottom, I'm getting 0.279. Something's not right.
I was say his number does not make sense.
I have this backwards. I is PRT.
Oh, thank you.
I'm like, there's no way that interest is gonna be really, really large. I done messed that up.
It was going out to be like 16 grand and I was
Yeah.
like,
Right.
$4,500.
Right, that's a good investment right there. Yeah, I equals PRT. It's already in the right order. All we gotta do is multiply it out. What? Yeah, I'm a little distracted. I mean, when you just start describing your day off as being a horse fluffer, you caught my attention.
It's a horse flipper.
So what you guys do for the horse, a fluffer does that for a human male to get him prepped. Blew your mind right there, right? All right, so if we multiply those all together, you asked. That's what I get, and I'm not gonna leave it like that because I know the interest is money. So I'm gonna write it in terms of money. 50 cents.
Do we have to show the formula? We have to do it now.
What do you mean?
We did-
How else would you do it?
I just
I
said,
did
it.
it,
How do you do it?
How else would
I
you?
multiply 4,500 times 9.3%. And it came out to $480.50, and then I multiply that by 3. And I come out with the same. answer. Which is-
Yeah, because if you did the 9.3%
I
as,
did it just
yeah, that's fine. You're doing the same process. I'm assuming you did the 9.3% as a decimal, otherwise you couldn't have gotten what you got.
How does it?
Yeah, that's what I said, 9.3%. Again,
All right, this is. I think the most fun I've ever had in a class. Ever, of all my classes. Ariana, this is the best discussion ever. There's more coming, more questions coming. I want to say I want to go watch one day, but I don't think I really do.
Go.
All right, so Ohm's law is, well,
Dangerous. Because the herdsman is collecting under the stallion and he can get either smashed or even killed.
I watched it on Jackass, then they had Steve Enrique.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, he drank the whole bottle.
Yeah,
No.
you see, I guess it's crazy.
No.
A lot of protein, I'd say, you know?
Oh,
oh,
Wonder what the calorie count is.
3 days.
did you really need to go there, Mason? Fucking F, instant F. Ohm's law is voltage equals current times resistance. And so if we want to find the current I can divide both sides of this equation by R. And you get I equals V over R. Because it says find the current. So that's what inspired me to do the I. And now I know I've got V over R. It says V is 110 volts. And R is 50 ohms. And if I do 110 divided by 50, I get 2.2 amps. You missed a lot of good stuff in here. Any questions? You came straight from work, didn't you?
Yes.
All right, next question. I know you can't see that. That's a really small font. That's fucking annoying. I'm gonna have Ariana fail the test just because she can't see it. You're gonna need your glasses on Monday. Nate, reminder. I don't want her giving me excuses about how she can't see the test. So I will rewrite this a little bit bigger for you. This is x over 12 equals 5 over 8. When we're solving for proportions, we can cross multiply. Gives me 8 times x on the left and 12 times 5 on the right. Finally, if I want to get x by itself, I divide by 8. So I can put this in a calculator, or I can do a little bit of operations first to see what I got. I changed the 12 into 4 times 3, and I changed the 8 into 4 times 2, so I could see the 4's cancel. And I got 15 over 2, which means this is 7.5. Either one of those answers will work.
You can see it.
What? Wow,
Hey, you got it.
I'm drinking coffee. Sicko.
If there was that much, how much would? The secret would be if it was that much,
I'm not
7.5 is just what's wrong.
That's what I'm saying. I need to make it a math problem in your future. I put it on a test. Ariana milks a horse for
You know, of course, there are others.
What? That's how
he's making jokes.
oh,
I said milk like a cow. So that's. All right, next one. Solve this proportion, and so let me enlarge this for our favorite seeing eye dog back here. I'll do the seeing eye dog. I guess maybe not the seeing eye dog, the one that the seeing eye dog helps. So I'm gonna I'm gonna actually simplify a little bit first here. I think this is gonna make this a lot easier. 45 is 9 times 5. And 18 is 9 times 2. I can't even cross off the wow, clearly mine's fucking shot. You can try and cancel off the centimeters.
I'm good about it.
That's fucking great. We can also cross off the 9s. And what I have is 5/2 equals 9 centimeters over x. If I cross multiply here. I get the 2 times the 9 on the right, 2 times 9 centimeters. And I get x times 5 or 5x on the left. So 5x equals 18 centimeters. I divide both sides by 5. And x equals 18 over 5 centimeters, which is 3.6 centimeters. That's probably a better form of the answer. So what was your part in all this? You just walked him over there and then watched? You got him over, you said you had to help breathe, but like, it sounds like you weren't the herdsman.
I would back them up, so then we can do.
So the teasing, she pees on the phantom?
No, I mean, she can,
She
but
can.
usually she just urinates wherever, he can smell it.
And then you said he licks and nibbles. Are we talking about where the urine is, or he's snipping her
Her
end?
and
Does he do that while he's getting ready to get on the phantom, or is it just like a one, like, oh, I got a good sniff, I'm good to go?
it can be like that, but usually if they're picky or stubborn, we would have to put the urine and put it on the phantom.
Okay,
You don't get
how dare he be picky and want the real thing? All right, next question. Find the slope of the line passing through -3.6 and 3.2.
Were those your questions?
Yeah. So the slope of the line is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I've got 2 points. I just need to label them. Which one I'm going to use for 1 and which one I'm going to use for 2.
First one. Then you'll be one.
That works for me, and I'll use 2 for that one. So this is x1, this is y1, this is x2, this is y2. And I'm just going to fill that in. Y2 is 2. Y1 is 6.
Oh, real quick. You know, they're that stubborn to the point where We had a stallion that only liked white horses. Well, they're gray horses.
It's a racist month.
Yeah, I go to the
Yeah.
landing.
And he was a pain.
Well, yeah, you have to pull out the white mare every time.
Yeah,
A
where do
racist.
you think he got this idea? Like,
So we do that, we do get 2 minus 6 on top is -4. 3 minus -3 is +6 on bottom. This is -2 times 2 and 3 times 2. The 2's will cancel. Leaving behind a 1 and we get -2/3. Equals M.
Actually, I'll come back with an answer. How much that whole bottle.
You're gonna find out how many ounces it is or how
I
many.
don't know.
Just like
I
this.
say tell me, but
You can tell him your math teacher wants to use it in a homework or a test
Yeah.
problem. He'll fucking laugh. I guarantee whoever's doing it will laugh. They'll think that's great. Hey, they want their, stuff included.
it's an everyday job.
I don't know if it's an everyday job. You guys ready for more? Someone's gonna come in and see that board and go, what the fuck is going on in this MFR? All right, this says write the equation in slope-intercept form and determine the slope and the y-intercept. So slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. The y-intercept is 0, b. So we need to get 2y minus x equals 3 written in the form where it looks like the line above. So we need to get y by itself. I'm going to start off by adding x's to both sides. And I get 2y equals x plus 3. And then you can either divide both sides by 2 or multiply both sides by 1/2. And we end up with y equals 1/2 x plus 3/2. Which means the slope is 1/2. And the y-intercept is 0, 3/2. Or you could do 0 and 1.5 if you put it in a calculator. Decimal works.
Where did you get the 1
Divide, multiplying by 1/2 is the same thing as dividing by 2. If you wanted to do divide by 2, divide by 2. It's gonna get you the same answer. If I had done divide by 2. I get y equals x over 2 plus 3 over 2. Which is the same thing as saying 1/2 x plus 3 over 2.
He's good.
You know it's Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
I'm not drinking horse
Were
semen.
your eyes on it the entire time they were making it?
No, it could be,
You never know.
you never know. I'm gonna kill a motherfucker if my shit's got.
I think you could do more than just kill them. I feel like you could win a nice class action lawsuit.
I'd have to prove it. Oh, yeah, I could clean house on Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
My creamer was protein based.
Make them numb your tummy.
All right, you ready now? Bertha? Did you do this problem and get a different answer?
I think she's just trying to
I'm
understand.
confused, yeah. I'm trying to understand why it equal.
Show it with a different number, show it.
Well, so the m equals 1/2 is the number that's in front of x.
And it's
So whatever you end up with in front of x. And then this is my b. That's my b, and I want to put it into something like that. Okay. It's been a while. This was before spring break. All right. Graph using the intercepts method. The intercepts method is, we just showed the y-intercept. The y-intercept has a 0 for the first value. And the x-intercept has a 0 for the second value. Which means we can take advantage of that and find out what they are. Y-intercept having a 0 for the first value means x equals 0. So I'm going to take 2x minus 3y equals 6, and I'm going to plug in the x equals 0. And 2 times 0 goes away. We divide by -3. And I get y equals 6 divided by -3 is -2. I'm gonna go up here and write that in right there real quick. When I do the x-intercept, the second value is y, and y equals 0 here. So I will do the same thing here, plugging in 0 for y. So 2x equals 6, and I divide by 2, and I get x equals 3. So I'll put that up there. Zero, -2 is down 2 on the y-axis. And 3, 0 is right 3 on the x-axis. So I'm going to make little hashtags to indicate going that far. I'll even write 3 and -2 to make it clear. Zero, -2 is right there, and 3, 0 is right there.
It's called an iceberg.
It's not an iPad, it's an iceberg.
Don't
Ice splooge. God damn it. I didn't want it. I got inappropriate. I'm sorry. I went too far. My bad.
So what is the iPad for?
They're magnifying it to see if the sperm are healthy sperm.
If they're swimming.
See, I was paying attention,
If they're.
or they're double-headed, multi-tailed, you
My
know,
grandpa would say, you can tell it by taste.
right?
No, that's all.
You're talking about your mom's dad. I'm gonna tell her you said that.
Oh, dad's dad twice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Quite smooth. All right, everyone was good?
Wait, X equals what? 30?
Great.
And then I'll get that graph real quick. Boom, 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 boom.
No rush. We already wasted a good 20, 30, not wasted. I want to say have an educational session sponsored by Ariana.
You know what?
I thank you. You might even get extra credit for that.
Their pop quiz eco.
Yeah, you might. Because you had some little bit of math in there.
Don't get my hopes up.
It ain't gonna change your grade a lot. It's not gonna save you from failing.
At least it's extra credit.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna make that, we're gonna make that an extra credit thing. I'm gonna come up with an assignment. Field that you're interested in, come to me with, write up some situations that involve math. And give them to me and I will work extra credit. Well, I'll send out an email about this and announcement. I think I'm gonna do this.
You already gave me extra credit. I'm good on that.
You don't want any more extra credit. You're calling it quits with that. Okay, you don't have to do the assignment. It's like I said, it's extra credit. She's like, I got extra credit, that's enough, I'm gonna get an A now. I roll. All right, we are going to graph using the slope intercept method. Slope intercept method is the y equals mx plus b. M, does that rise over run? That up over right stuff? And B, remember, gives us a point. So let's take 2x plus y equals 3, that's the equation. I know Ariana can't see it. And we're gonna solve for y to get it looking like this. If I subtract 2x from both sides. Right over here. Y equals negative 2x plus 3. And if I compare this to mx plus b, I can see that my m is the negative 2. And I can see that b equals 3. So I will have a point at 0, 3. Negative 2 is the same thing as negative 2 over 1. And I can fit that into my rise over run. I know I at least got to go up to 3 because that's a point on my graph. And negative 2 is a slope going downward to the right. So I don't know how far I'm going to need to go. I'll put a couple points down here and see what we get. It's 0, 3 is right there. That's from my feet. And I am going to want to go up. Negative 2 is the same thing as going down 2. So I want to go down 2 and right 1. I want to go down 2 and right 1. If you do a few points like that, just keep going down 2, right 1. It makes connecting the dots pretty easy. down 2 and right 1. Now, for me to draw a straight line pretty well, I'm gonna rotate it because I tend to do straight lines a little bit better when it's away from me and towards me. Clearly that one was misaligned. There we go.
Yeah, so all big.
These little fuck is wrong with you, Ariana?
What? I'm just here laughing. What?
She's the one saying it,
How?
she's telling me.
Every time I grab the cup to take a drink, that's when you're laughing.
I'm working.
It's not random laughing. So every time you do, I take a drink, you're up here thinking I'm drinking. Or imagining I'm drinking horse semen. That's the loco. Muy loco. Find the equation of the line passing through the given point with the given slope. So the given point is 3, -5. And the slope is 2/3. I'm drawing a little bit bigger for Ariana to see.
All you really need is just a wide intersection.
You need a slope. You either need 2 points or the slope. I don't even need the y-intercept. There is another equation that is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So I'm gonna treat this as my point. I will call this is x1 and this is y1. And I can fill in everything there. Y minus blank equals parentheses, oops. M goes in front of the parentheses, x minus blank. I'm just gonna fill in what I have. Y1 is -5, it goes right here. X1 is 3, goes over here.
So it would be y minus -5, parentheses
Equals 2/3 times x minus 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clean it up. This turns into y plus 5. If I distribute this is 2/3 times x minus 2/3 times 3. 2/3 times 3 is just 2. So this is -2 right there. I got 2/3 x and I got y plus 5. And I can subtract 5 from both sides. And I get y equals 2/3 x minus 7.
What's your meter?
How about the sound effect?
That's a good one. What's your
I thought that was against the Geneva.
Right.
You gas. For,
The door's open, so you're fine.
oh, yeah.
It's not cruel and unusual punishment.
Lock the door, turn on the heat.
I like to turn on the heat. That's an extra little bit right there. Sick. Is everyone ready?
What's your name?
It's engineering.
Okay, so I got two questions that both say solve the same sets of equations. They ask you to do it two different ways, using the addition method and the substitution method. So the first one is doing the addition method. I will rewrite the questions larger for our vision impaired audience. To use the addition method, I need to get coefficients of one of the letters that is equal and opposite. If I can make this, I have a negative y here. If I make this a negative 3y, when I add them together, I'm going to have 0y. So that's going to be my goal. To get this to be negative 3y, I'm going to multiply this by 3. If I do, I get 3 times x minus 3 times y equals 0. And I'm going to put that in over here.
So you're gonna multiply three.
I'm multiplying it, yeah, I multiply the 3 times 0 also. It just so happens in this case that it goes to zeros. And now when I add vertically, I have 7x plus 0y equals 14. So 7x equals 14. Divide by 7, and I get x equals 2. What I'm going to do, I'm going to go over here and put that in a little box. That's what we're aiming for, is a point. Now, to get the y value, I got to take this x equals 2. The easiest way to do it is plug this into one of the first equations. I think the easiest one to plug it into is the x minus y equals 0 problem. My goal is to get y by itself. I can either subtract 2 and then you have to deal with this negative later, or I can just add y to both sides right now. And I get 2 equals y. Which means that's my other point or value. 2, 2. So how long did that take you? What were you done by? How early do you gotta get up to fluff a horse?
Well, I'm a herdsman.
Can't get up too early, I'm gonna catch the sperm sleeping and all.
I know, okay, so you're a herdswoman,
So I wake up at 9:30, I'll get there like around 6, and then from there, we start around 6:30 and at 8, 9. And then I have my class at 10.
that's not part of the classwork, that's just training. Like,
Yeah.
do all the students have to do training like that, or is this something you volunteered for?
I think you know. She just said that if I wanted to go and do the work experience and then, for extra credits.
Okay,
And, well, actually, it's part of my associate's degree, so,
so work experience in the field, okay. Doing a little bit of animal husbandry,
yeah,
that's,
basically,
that's the word for
it's
it,
actually, it's called horse husbandry.
okay. Animal husbandry is the general category,
Well,
horse husbandry would be specific to horses.
I mean, it is,
But it is the same thing as letting them get it on. Let's get it on.
Throwing some hard cattle.
All right, so this one says to do the same equations, which is good because we already know the answer. we should get this 2 again, because it's the same equations. And the test is gonna be the same way. I'm gonna give you 2 identical sets of equations. I want you to solve it differently on both ones. This one says do the substitution method. Substitution method is solve one of these equations for one variable. I will do that here. I will add y to both sides, and I got x equals y. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna make that substitution over here. I'm gonna replace x with the y value I have. Or the right side, and it just so happens to be y. Sometimes it's 6y, sometimes it's 1/3 y. Sometimes it's, but in this case, it was exactly y. I've got 4y plus 3y. When I add them together, I get 7y equals 14. And I divide by 7 and I get y equals 2. Then I'm going to take this and plug this in right here. And this says x equals 2. When I replace the y. So I've got x equals 2, y equals 2, I got the 0.22. And that matches what we did up here. For this whole make some math problems for extra credit, I encourage you to, if you're taking a class on whatever you're wanting to do, ask your instructor, what are some good questions I could give my teacher for that are math related? Because he's teaching the trade mathematics and he wants to make sure that he's getting problems that are appropriate to students. When you bring in me some questions from your teachers or something you look up, you'll get extra credit. I'll figure out how I want to do this. I think this is a good idea. What? It triggered the idea. So everyone can thank Ariana for potential extra credit coming. That's what she's wanting right now. You hear? She's wanting a pat on the back. She's fishing. You did a good job, Ariana. All right. Perform the indicated operations and simplify. Write the answers with positive exponents. So let me write this figure. Shit, I can barely read it. Okay, so when we have stuff like this, we want to simplify. We want to get everything, the letters on the same side if we can. So one thing we can do to simplify is we can factor the numbers. I'm going to start off with ones I recognize right away. 24 is 8 times 3. 16 is 8 times 2. If it helps you, you can do the x squared as x times x. And the y cubed as y times y times y. The y to the -1, I'm going to move it to the bottom and make it appear down here. So it appears down here. And when we move it to the bottom, the negative is no longer there, and we just have y to the first, and we don't need the 1 anymore. From here, you can cancel out shit that is on both sides. 8 cancels out there, 8 cancels out there. And I've got an X that cancels out in both spots as well. I am left with 3x on top. And 2y to the 4th power on bottom. Another way to go about doing this is with the exponents. You still got to do the 24/16 the same way. But when we have variables divided by each other, we can subtract the exponent on the bottom from the exponent on the top. This we already showed how to simplify to get 3 over 2. 2 minus 1 is x to the 1st power. -1 minus 3 is y to the -4 power. And finally, we're going to take the y and move it to the bottom and make it positive. So I've got 3x on top, 2y to the 4th on bottom. Either way you do it, you're going to get the same answer. So pick a path that makes you happy. You guys ready for more? Crazy. I would just be so paranoid of getting grease on my face. When you've been working with grease, do you keep touching your face? I'm like,
Oh.
damn.
No, this is paint.
Oh, it's paint?
Yeah, this is undercoating for the vehicle.
Huh.
Yeah, I can't, it'll come off eventually. We're going on 3 days right now.
Shit. All right, let me write this a little bit larger for our vision impaired.
Can you tell me your hands are?
Yeah, they're clean.
He's got awesome tats.
Yeah.
Okay, the best thing to do here is to distribute this negative sign to get rid of the parentheses.
Tattoo or is that a stroke like as he started?
So I still have the 5x squared minus 3x. As I distribute the negative sign, negative times 2x is negative 2x. And negative times negative 4x squared is plus 4x squared. Then we want to gather like terms. These two have an x squared, so I'll add them together. 5x squared plus 4x squared is 9x squared. And these two just have an x. So -3 and -2 is -5x. This is a simple problem. Oh, that's too bad. I'm all out of my beverage.
Make it some more.
That's quite all right.
Let's say you collect some,
Also that, over there,
the barn, not the barn.
there's one here,
She is very adamant. Don't call it the farm, call it the barn. Why?
Because in the front is literally the barn. There's a stallion barn.
We do have a farm and we do have a barn.
The barn is a building on a farm,
Separate things, yeah.
but the barn is a building on a farm. What if the horse is doing it outside, not in the barn?
Doing it in a lab, called the AI lab.
Wait, what about Barn?
Do you have computers in it?
Wait, now, all right, all of a sudden we talk, now we're adding a lab to it. Is it not in the fucking barn?
I thought it's done in the stalls.
It's not done in like a stall and you walk the horse into a building. Like
It's
a
like-
building like the building we're in, something like with doors and shit.
And it's clean in there?
And don't fuck up the floor with its hooves? Is it concrete floor?
It's like this, like.
It's literally like this building.
No, it's not like this building, it has a, I don't know the material, it's it's like,
It's not tiling or anything on the floor, is there? Is it,
it's navigable where you can sweep and it has its own like water hose, it's meant for, to get wet and stuff.
the hose, the extra semen off, got it? Or the urine. You don't wanna have, old Mary urine lying around. That's the stain.
No, the oldest mare we have is 21. And she is old, but she's pregnant right now.
What I meant by old Mary urine was not the mare being old, but the urine on the ground being old. Alright, next problem.
We don't age discriminate here.
There's, right? There's no, if I'm gonna discriminate on age, then I would have to discriminate against myself or discriminate against young people. Because
That's the way. to go.
that, if I'm gonna do discrimination, it's gonna be against young people. Cause most young people are dumb as shit.
Anytime a 5-year-old walks in the room, me and him got a problem.
This is like, I'm fucking smarter than you, you little fucker.
Swear.
So I enlarged the problem for Ariana. Here, we're gonna distribute. We're doing the foil thing, if you like that. Or the diamond method, if you like that. I personally like distribution. 7x times 2x. Plus 7x times 1. I'm only writing this out just to make sure you guys know what I'm doing. Then I've got -3 times 2x. And then -3 times 1. I am okay if you bypass that step and go straight to the next step. 7x times 2x is 14x squared. 7x times 1 is 7x. -3 times 2x is -6x. And -3 times 1 is -3. So this is an optional step. This one is like a mandatory step. You kind of need to do this. If you don't, you just do it in a fucking calculator, you need to do shit. I know calculators will do this shit, but it probably doesn't show this step. Now we can combine like terms. The x's are the only thing that are alike. 7x minus 6x is just x. And that simplifies down to that. So if you're all done by 9 AM, why are you tired?
Cause I have class at,
Oh, yeah, class at 10.
and then I have another class at 1. Yeah, and then I have this class
How long's your 10 o'clock class?
until 12,
How long's your 1 o'clock class?
until 3.
Ew, you have a full day.
I always have a full day during the day.
You got, do you have classes on Tuesday and Thursday? Or you just focus?
I only have one class Tuesday.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, get a nap in, but you don't even have time for a nap. You fucking laugh, naps are fucking glorious. The older you get, I guarantee you, you're gonna get older and you'll be like, naps are fucking glorious.
They're awesome, but too long of a nap, I hate.
Yeah,
That's what I'm probably on.
all right, so the next one is this. And we're basically doing the same thing, we're just distributing. Four A times 3A squared plus 4A times negative 2A plus 4A times 5. Four times 3 is 12. A times A squared is A cubed. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. A times A is A squared. And 4 times 5 is 20, and we have just one A there.
Do you have any more questions?
Not at the moment. We're almost done. We don't need to delay the game anymore. We've only got 2 problems left. Then you'll be free to go, okay? But I will have more questions later. Now, once I've processed the whole stud servicing you do,
It's just called reading, literally called reading.
okay? It's another, you just used a different word. The guy's being a stud. You're doing a stud story. He's not breeding the mare. Breeding the mare is they get on with mare. You're actually
It's still. not
collecting a
breeding.
sample. That's a stud service.
It's called AI breeding.
What's the AI for? Artificial insemination, right?
Yes,
Not artificial intelligence, which is what most people use AI for.
we don't use that.
If AI and ChatGPT got together and they had the wrong AI, imagine what ChatGPT could do with animal husbandry. All right, so this in large says 6A squared B squared. Everything that doesn't have an exponent on the inside, I'm gonna put an exponent of 1 there. Because when you have an exponent on the outside, you multiply it by the exponents on the inside. So this is gonna turn into 6 to the 1 times 2. A to the 2 times 2. B to the 1 times 2. So this is 6 squared. A to the 4th power and B to the 2nd power. And 6 squared is 36. Everyone ready? All right, last one. 3x minus 2 times 3x plus 2. There are 2 ways you can do this. One is just to FOIL like we did on the other problem. The other way is to remember that a minus b times a plus b equals a squared minus b squared. I'll show both ways. Here, to get these 2 to match up, a has to equal the 3x and b has to equal the 2. Which means I would have 3x squared minus 2 squared. This we kind of do what we did up here. We distributed the square root of both things. I've got 3 squared x squared minus 2 squared, which is 9x squared minus 4. That's the final answer. That's the fastest approach. Remembering the formula and just treating them as squares. But you don't have to do that. You can distribute. 3x times 3x. Plus 3x times 2. And then minus 2 times 3x. And minus 2 times 2. This gets you 9x squared. Plus 6x. Minus 6x minus 4. The 6x's purge themselves. And we're just left with 9x squared minus 4. So both ways will get you the same answer. And that's it. That's the sum of the test. Well, there will be 2 extra credit problems on there. But those are surprise. Any questions? I will see you guys Monday.
I don't know if I did number 11, but I'll just go back and watch the video. I got lost.
Okay,
If you have any questions, I'll email you.
okay. I know you want to do it on a different day, and you might want to do it on a different, are you, Dana, are you doing it this Thursday or next Thursday? When did you want to do yours? Was it tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come, at 1 o'clock tomorrow, I need to register.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was this Tuesday, Thursday or next Thursday. So I wanted to make sure it was this tomorrow. Okay.
I can't do more, but I can do something, so I might as well just take them. Something.
Okay,
That's what they told me, only have to come back here, only have to come back here, it's 1 o'clock. I'm on 4:20. It's in a list.
Oh, it's not.